Sean Murray was at the Game Awards last night, and there was two major announcements. The first major announcement is for No Man's Sky, so let's have a little focus on that little clip right now. So there's going to be updates for No Man's Sky next year, and we're going to get completely new ships like this one here. But as we're going to have the continuation of the ARG, I think the updates next year are going to be massive. I'm leaning more to the Atlas Rising type update, and that was the interior to the new space stations. And yes, they're finally introducing the new space stations as well. So 2024 and the year after, it's probably going to be big years for No Man's Sky. But let's move on to the next major announcement. But let's have Sean Murray tell us what's happening.
Sean, looks like the content keeps rolling in 2024. But what does the next decade look like for Hello Games?
Well, to start with, next year is going to be a really big year for No Man's Sky. Like you said, I've been working on it for 10 years now, and I still really love it, still really enjoy it. But what people don't know is that for the last 5 years, we've been working on something new.
Another game.
Yeah, something very different, something maybe more ambitious. You know, for...
Here we go. Tell us a bit about it, Sean.
Okay, this is why Sean Murray should never talk to us. He gets carried away. His excitement overwhelms him and he just can't help spilling beans he's not allowed to spill. But this time he didn't quite overpromise. So let's listen to it a little bit more.
For our new game, we wanted to create an Earth, you know, something as varied, a planet that is as varied as a universe, something bigger than Earth.
Something bigger than Earth, so we're going to have an entire planet to play on.
Something with, you know, mountains, real mountains, not video game mountains, but mountains that are miles high.
This planet is going to be absolutely massive.
Taller than Everest, that when you climb to the top of them and look out, you can see rivers and canyons and continents, you know, you can see oceans.
So is this like an open world planet kind of thing?
Sean's ambition again. A whole open world planet. That's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, the first real open world, right? Something without boundaries. And we're going to let everyone play in it together.
Multiplayer as well. Well, if it's as big as Earth, you could probably get quite a few billion people on it.
It's, you know, a place where people can live out their sort of adventures together.
So I went to their website and this is the description of the game. It's going to be about adventure, building, survival and exploring together. And as you can see from the features, they're emphasising the word Earth a lot. So it's a multiplayer Earth, a procedural Earth, a fantasy Earth and an unexplored Earth. Under multiplayer Earth, the thing that stands out for me is construct persistent buildings and communities. Under a procedural Earth, truly open world, no boundaries, massively varied and dense, implies different biomes, unique enemies and valuable resources to discover. Interesting. They emphasise the lore and the classic fantasy under Fantasy Earth. That's also interesting. Of course, the last one is all about going exploring and having fun with friends. And of course, not forgetting the flying dragons.
If, you know, if people like it, this is a game I would like to still be updating 10 years from now.
All right, so Game Awards 2033. We'll be back. But no, let's take a look. This is such an incredible project, and I'm honored that we get to show it up. Should we do it, Sean?
Yeah, let's do it.
Here we go.
So it's another game that's going to be constantly updated for years to come. But before I go into a breakdown of the trailer, there'll be a link to the full trailer down below. That's weird. Do you start as skeletons or can you be skeletons? Interesting. But it's showing you the different biomes and the density of all the plants on it. And also making sure we all know that this was game captured and captured in multiplayer as well. I really do like the feel of this planet and those massive mountains in the background. He wasn't lying there, was he? This looks like some sort of waypoint, but look at the staff, that's very interesting. We've got some sort of gliders as well, and we can have pets, but I do like the design of this. This has got a real nice feel to it. And then we can see the early building mechanics. I've got a feeling that's going to be a lot more in depth than it appears right now. So in this game we might be able to build villages, towns and even cities. Let's hope so. And of course we have to collect resources to build it, that's what that indicates to me. And a hummingbird pen at this time. So we're going to have boats in this game to go explore the oceans, bow and arrows for combat and hunting, and flaming swords for battling as well. So it really is going to be a fantasy game with all the elements. And look at that monster in the background. We can have pet dragons as well to fly. I wonder if we have to capture them or grab eggs and grow them, and probably use some of the elements from No Man's Sky with the egg sequencer. And this flying sequence really gives you a sense of the density of this. Is this really going to be a whole world? Planet Earth size? Bloody hell. But there was an interesting build in that lake. I wonder if that was a ruin or something that's been built. The weather mechanics look interesting, and that was a nice little flash of a different bio. A flaming watchtower. I wonder if we build that or if that's in game. But in the bottom right you can see the bow and arrow, so we can have access to our weapons when we're flying our pets. And then there's that floating settlement that caught my eye. Wonder if that's something that's in game, or is it something we build? I hope it's something we build. The tower is actually a perch for our flying animals, like the landing pads in No Man's Sky. To me, this clearly indicates that we're going to have raiding parties, and it has that lovely art style of Halo games. I'm counting 7 players here. I wonder if it's 8-player groups. Like, I know we're all going to be in the same planet, but with all the data and multiplayer that they got from No Man's Sky, I'd love to see 32-player lobbies, but I'd be happy with 16 if it's lovely and stable. It's Hello Games we're talking about here, so 32 is probably stable, but the push for 96. And this area looks absolutely gorgeous, so we've got places to discover, and I love the fact that we've got multiple races, and you've got a wise old giant sitting in the background there. And the detail on that sphere is very interesting indeed. I'd really like to know what that's all about, if you can go inside it. And then we have the Earth breaking up underground, probably something to do with the lore and the story, but we'll find out soon enough. Then the final cut to Light No Fire. That whole imagery, that whole icon gives me a real Lord of the Ring vibes, but that is inevitable because they did say it's classic fantasy. But also what's very clear to me is they're using all the experience and all the assets that they've used in No Man's Sky, like the build mechanics, all the different creatures that you can keep as pets. No doubt they're taking into account all the ship hunting and gun hunting and weapon hunting, and of course all the years of giving them that feedback has given them a good idea what we like in games. So all I hope is they have someone to keep Sean in line, so it's a case of under-promising but over-delivering. So now it's only a matter of time and waiting and finding out when this game is going to be released. Next year is going to be a big year for No Man's Sky, so Light No Fire could be out by the end of next year, because it looks as though they've done most of the work, so it's just probably polishing off to do. But like all games, I don't want them to rush it, so it's good they've not given us a date yet. And if there's any more news or any more details, I certainly will be covering it on this channel. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, hit that like and subscribe button, or on the bell thingy. And of course, thank you for watching. See you all later.